We need to make a change. Instead of going abroad, we need to bring our industry here. And a lot of the countries are making effort to do that. And if we want good marriages, if we want good relationships, if we want men and women with jobs and abilities, let's want them here, right here in Africa. But let me tell you something. Distance won't hug you, young lady, young man. You need the embrace and love of a mother. You need that. Grandma loves you and she can raise you. And grandpa loves you and he can raise you. But that need that you have for your own father, there's something in children that want their mommy and they want their daddy. There's something about them. So we need to make a change, Africa. Hi, this is Janetta, and this is Saturday. I think it's the 27th of June. I don't know for sure. Me and that calendar just don't work. So we don't work good together. My days are so relaxed and I'm enjoying my retirement. I'm enjoying my life at this stage in my life. I'm just having a good time. But I'm not having too good of a time to see and think and analyze things that are going on today. And a lot of things that are going on are bringing me a lot of happiness and joy. And then there's a lot of things that I'm really looking at and getting a little bit upset and thinking, what can we do to make a change? Here in Africa, and specifically I'm in Kenya, and I lived in Tanzania for a great number of years. And I had never met, I had never met so many people who have family members that are abroad working. And so it's made me really look into that and what is the effect. We need to make a change. We need employment in Africa. We need factories. We need industry. Why should our families be broken up just to be able to make an income, to make a change in their family's life? Because we don't have jobs. We got high unemployment. We have some jobs, but we have a lot of people. Africa has 1.4 or 1.5 billion people, not million, billion people. And the unemployment, I would say, if you put it all together, is about 50% of those. Maybe not that high, but it's even 10% would be a lot. 20%, that they're really not working because we have jobs that have not even been designed for here because we have no need for them. Our hospitals, with the technicians, we have technicians, but we don't have equipment. We don't have the things we do. We don't have the funding. There's so many things we don't have, but not because Africa is poor, not because Tanzania is poor, Kenya is poor. They're very rich. They're very rich in minerals. They're very rich with what's under the ground. And so there's really no excuse. And we've gotten to the point where we need to make a change. And the only way a change can be made is that you or I make that change. Or you or I acknowledge what needs to be done. Our economy, we need jobs.
I am jobless. Sitting here analyzing how Nakumicha is mismanaging health.
We talk about relationships. And relationships are very, very important. But you know what? A man wants a job to be able to take care of his family. And a woman wants a man who can take care of his family. So we come in conflict here. So much so until couples are now just looking at economy. Can you supply me with the money I need? Can you take care of me? Can you afford me?
Can you afford me?
Can you afford the children? Instead of looking at what we really need, can we get along together? Do we care about each other? What can we do to enhance your life? You could do to enhance mine. What can we do for each other? But instead, our main concentration is on something that we seem not to have control of. But there's something we can do. There's something that can be done. As a body of people, we can make a change. For one thing, we need to relate to each other. We need to relate. Kenya needs to relate to Tanzania. Tanzania needs to relate to Nairobi, to Nigeria. We need to relate to each other. Everybody here, all the countries here, we need to relate to each other and stop acting like it's not my problem, it's Kenya's problem, or it's not my problem, it's Tanzania's problem, or it's not my problem, it's Nigeria's problem. No, it's our problem. And there's a solution boiling up in what we call the Sahel area, with a group of men, the 3 men called the AES. Pay attention to them. When people try to demonize them to make them seem like they're terrible because they want freedom to build their countries, to make something out of their lives, to make something out of their lives for the people, the citizens in those countries. And they're making a change. And we can make a change. It's not only them. Because we need to do it for our children. Can you imagine? 37%, they say, of children are 37% of the families in Ghana. I looked at Ghana. 37% of the Ghanaians are abroad working. 37% of the population of workers. That means that a lot of families are without father or mother. But they're getting back good money. They're getting money that will send them to school, give them better school, better things to eat, housing, but they don't have a father or they don't have the mother. And sometimes they lose both of them, finding a better life. And then that distance for how many years? Not just for a few months that they're away for a while, like my husband was, that he went away to Vietnam and he came back within a year and never went away again. No. These are people that sometimes can't come back in 2 or 3 years because of the costs. They can't afford it. But a lot of times you don't know that until you get there, because you know what? When you're making money in the United States or in Europe, in England, from here, that money seems really good. But when you're over there and you're making that money, it costs you a lot. $100 can go a long way here in Kenya. And it can go a long way in Tanzania. And it can go a long way in a lot of countries here in Africa. But in the United States or in Europe, $100 won't get you hardly anything at all. So when you're thinking of what we want, we need to keep our eyes on what we're sacrificing to go abroad to make a living for our family. Now, did you have a son or a daughter? Just to have a son or a daughter and you never get to raise them, you never get to hug them, kiss them, teach them. You're just sending their money. The only thing they know about you is daddy will send me the money, but daddy's not there. And they're saying that those children are angry. They feel abandoned by their parents. And they grow up very angry. They're frustrated because one thing children don't understand, money, really. They don't understand it. And to them, the importance is the mom and daddy. I didn't realize. See, when you're a mother or a father, you don't really realize when you think about how did you feel as a child. Some of us have put our children in a position that we never were in, and we think they'll be all right because they have more than what we have or had. So we're thinking that they will be fine because they got a nice pair of shoes, they have a nice home to live in. But to children, nice home and nice pair of shoes does not really mean that much to them at all. When you talk to children and you talk to them, they will not hardly mention that the things that they missed in their childhood was shoes and clothes. They won't hardly mention that. Most of the time they mention daddy wasn't there or mama wasn't there. So we have to do something about it. So I'm letting you know, in relationship, I can talk to you about relationship and about distance makes the heart grow fonder. But let me tell you something. Distance won't hug you, young lady, young man. Distance doesn't make a commitment. Distance doesn't require you to, or you don't have let me see, what should I say? You don't have the privilege of being, you have the privilege of being a father, but you don't have the privilege of really being there on the scene for your child. Who is protecting your child? Who is there guarding them? What? You need a father. You need the embrace and love of a mother. You need that. Grandma loves you and she can raise you. And grandpa loves you and he can raise you. But that need that you have for your own father, there's something in children that want their mommy and they want their daddy. There's something about them. So we need to make a change, Africa. We need to make a change. Instead of going abroad, we need to bring our industry here. And a lot of the countries are making effort to do that. And if we want good marriages, if we want good relationships, if we want men and women with jobs and abilities, let's want them here, right here in Africa. So our family can stay together and not be humiliated. Okay. Well, that's my preaching for today. But we have to do something. We can't look for someone else to do it for us. We have to make the change here in Africa. We have to pressure our leaders to make a change, and they can make a change. But as long as you let them go along to get along and you don't make any decisions or you don't challenge them, then they will find you jobs in Israel, in Saudi Arabia, in the United States, and all these countries that are using what you have.
Africa has been standing in a line since dawn, hoping to land one of the 1 million jobs the Kenyan government aims to fill over 12 months. It's one of the country's most ambitious employment initiatives ever, but the jobs aren't in Kenya.
I've applied for a security job in Saudi Arabia. I'm grateful.
The logic of turning to overseas employment is simple. About 1 million Kenyans enter the workforce each year. Only a fifth find formal jobs. Critics of the scheme accuse the government of failing to create jobs at home. Many fear a loss of much-needed skills, and others point to a swelling backlash against immigration in Europe and the US. But with such a rapidly growing population, the labor minister argues it makes sense to send workers abroad, since the government can't hire them all.
We don't want people to rot at home. You have this skill. Why don't you get an opportunity to go and, utilize that skill elsewhere and then be able to come home?
Yeah. To make themselves rich. And you're building another country and the future of their children, but not the future of yours. Africa is too beautiful to leave. What's here in Africa is not found anyplace else in the world. And to long for Africa, to be here, to be with your family, that has to be not only heartbreaking for the children, but it has to be heartbreaking for the men and women that have had to make the sacrifice and face the humiliation. Okay, I don't want to preach to you, but that's what I had to say. Now, if you don't agree with me, write me, comment, share my video, share, because it needs to be said. We need to do something, and we can. And you'll be surprised how great our relationships will be. We need economy. We need economy. Economic power. We need that. Economic power. So, hey, yes, and also comment and let me know, talk to me. All right, subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe. I want to hear from you. All right, talk to you later. Ooh, yeah. Hey, this is Janetta, and you're watching Africa Speak.